This is 3 months. 3 months on the Bitcoin chart. 3 months on the Bitcoin chart. Sideways, everybody. If you're out there right now, if you're still there with me, it's a pound. I have to give you a double pound. Because this is, across the years of doing these videos, this is where things get just testing. So if you're out there right now, please hit that like button. Let me know it. Let me know it in the comments in the live stream. If you're a replay viewer, please hit the timestamps and cruise around the video. I want to talk about some crypto news. I want to look at the Bitcoin charts, want to look at Ethereum charts, ADA charts, altcoin charts in general. I thought I would just do a live stream because it's one of those days where genuinely I'm just like, I'm looking at the sideways. Look at Bitcoin. It's like wrapping around $98,000 since November. So some days it's just like, I don't feel like doing a video, especially when there's nothing really happening, but I'm doing a live stream. So I appreciate you out there. Let's start with some crypto news. ByBit got hacked. That's nice. That's just a perfect addition to everything that we have going on. But there's very bullish news right now happening that I think is worth paying attention to. And that is this: SEC agrees in principle to dismiss its lawsuit against Coinbase. So if you're an altcoin holder, a Cardano holder, I don't know if you remember when Coinbase was just attacked by the SEC and the charts just absolutely capitulated in that bear market. This is how far we've come. Check out this clip. Brian Armstrong.
Brian here from Coinbase. Well, today's a really good day because we just heard from the SEC staff that they're planning to withdraw their litigation against Coinbase. Now, this still needs to be approved by the SEC commissioners, but we're hoping that happens next week. And if this goes through, it's a really big deal, not just for us, but for the whole crypto industry, the 50 million Americans who hold crypto, and I think for the rest of the world, because this is an important signal about where things are going. Now, ultimately,
crazy. We can actually just go. I mean, I don't know this is the total crypto market cap chart, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. We can go to the daily. Let's zoom out. I just kind of want to bring into context this whole thing, right? If we go, I think it was right here. I think this is where it happened, everybody. And June 2023, you see that just boom. I'm sure you go to an ADA chart. This is total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. We go an ADA chart, it's probably even more defined, but just look at that. This was bear market territory, bear market low territory. And just look how far we've come as just crypto holders, the crypto space in general. It's just incredible, actually, to me to think of where we are right now. And so this is a very big event, I would say. On the macro, it's incredibly meaningful. Coinbase SEC have come to an agreement in principle about dismissing the agency's case against the exchange. The commission will need to do an official vote on the move, which could happen as early as next week. So that's something kind of on the radar to track, I guess you could say, in the next week or so. So let's cruise over. That was some good news, and then we have some bad news. ByBit crypto exchange hacked, $1.4 billion ETH. Man, that's a lot of money. So first off, if we go to total crypto market cap chart, this is what we're looking at on the daily, which we're actually going to dive into. We'll talk about it. But if you go to the hourly, you can just see the volatility of the day so far. This is all happening in the last hour or so. This is an hourly candle. There's the big news, the drop. And then what happened was after the news dropped, shortly after, ByBit official CEO, Ben, says ByBit is solvent even if this hack loss is not recovered. All of client assets are one-to-one backed. We can cover the loss. So what happened was just a kind of an hourly candle bounce, and then right now we're back down a little bit. It's not only do we have the zoomed out, like just up and down in this sideways range, but even on the zoomed in charts, and I'm talking about even the total crypto market cap chart zoomed in, it's happening. So we're all being tested, everybody. If you're a crypto holder, especially if you're the macro person, right? If you're not that person that's out there right now and you're just like, let me check in on crypto. I don't know. I'm buying, I'm selling, I'm in and out. If you're like one of those macro people like me that's been here, especially even for years, months, whatever, and you're just waiting, these short-term events get kind of tiring to track. But this is the crypto space. If you're out there in the live stream, I appreciate you cruising through. Please hit the like button on the way in right now. Kevin says, why can't we have nice things? Why can't we have nice things? It's funny because you kind of speak to my early morning sentiment. I posted this a little bit ago. I said, I wonder if I'll ever wake up to a crypto pump again. Smash the like right now if you know exactly what I'm talking about. You feel that way. Don't think I ever actually once was promoted ByBit. But that's crazy. That's a crazy comment. Dog. I'm definitely going to cover some dog. I really am. I'm just going to it's going to be a laid back live stream. I want to look at altcoin charts. I want to look at dog charts. I want to talk about the situation. Now more than ever, I just feel like, especially as like, I'm a macro bull, right? And really, if you're zoomed out on markets like I am, I guess what it really does mean is I'm a perma bull. I guess I am, right? It's just kind of occurring to me. Like, people call me perma bull, and it's funny, but it actually is true. Like, and so if that's the case, I want to lean into the hard times on these charts, right? The dips, whether it's a long-term bear market dip, you all know I cover bear markets. I covered this bear market back here 2 cycles ago. I cover this one, but even these short-term dips. So when some charts are getting absolutely wrecked and things that I hold even are getting wrecked, I want to lean into it. I want to talk about it. I don't want to shy away from it. I don't want to ignore it. So we'll look at some of those charts on the altcoin charts. Absolutely. So let's start though with Bitcoin. I think if you want a piece of copium, call it whatever, it would be this chart. Kevin Svensson, I meant to bring up one of his posts, but he's been posting about this. This is something he's tracked a lot on his channel, and I appreciate that because, you know, following him, I get wind of it because I'm not immediately paying attention to it, this exact thing, but it's really just the RSI on the weekly, and it's these macro kind of trend reversals that the RSI on the weekly on Bitcoin has seen. So what's happening right now, and we have to see how this weekly candle closes, right? We still have some time for the weekly candle, 2 days, 8 hours, but you can just see the weekly oscillator, the RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator, is breaking to the upside. It's breaking that trend line. The reason why that is so meaningful is because when you go back to previous moves, like moves of consolidation, whether longer, right? Back here, this is that massive like 8-month consolidation, or even shorter ones. When we break that yellow trend line, it's the lower high trend line, right? So swing high, lower high, here's another lower high, but we're breaking the trend line. That could be something meaningful happening right now. And that's on the weekly. And I think what makes it meaningful is something we've been talking about, is that is happening potentially. There's still 2 days, 7 hours. We have to see how the weekly candle closes to see what the RSI really does. But that's happening while we got the overextension and pulling into the 20-week moving average. So best case scenario, if you want some hopium, would be truly we get overextension, we pull into the 20-week, that RSI is happening, right? The RSI break is happening right above that lower high trend line, and then hopium incoming, the breakout and continuation to the upside. It would be most similar to this move back here. So again, kind of a shorter term consolidation, but boom, there's that break. But maybe even better because the RSI is even lower. There's more room for upside. I would say for parabolic bull market upside, which is what a lot of people want, right? I know a lot of you want that. I want it. I want it for Bitcoin. I want it for altcoins. But if we're looking at it, the other similarity is not only just how short term that kind of consolidation was before explosive move to the upside, but it was also very similar overextension from moving averages, pulling into the 20-week and continuation. So that's kind of like where the similarity comes into play, right? So kind of blast off, overextension, pulling into 20-week, next leg up. That's what we could kind of be looking at. You see that? And this would be just absolutely phenomenal. And again, I preface this whole thing by saying that's some hopium, but it's absolutely in play. But to really get a sense of what's in play for Bitcoin, and then we'll look at some altcoins, is if you kind of zoom out on the daily, we get a sense of the pain, 3 months of pain, but it is structure. We're in this channel, very clear channel. So the bullish scenario we just talked about for Bitcoin to the upside would look something like that. And then obviously bearish scenario would be a break to the downside. So it's really depending on the channel itself. Lower trend line around 90,000, upper trend line around 109,000. And we are absolutely just trending in the middle. We're wrapping around like 98,000 for months now. And so other than just anticipating each scenario, there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to do. It could be a bullish headline, like a very bullish headline that breaks Bitcoin to the upside, and maybe we break the upper trend line. It could be a bearish headline that triggers the move, right? We always see, not always, we often see news events over the years trigger the actual technical analysis move. So just waiting to see what trend line are we going to test first, and then what happens at that trend line. But you go to the daily RSI and it's like, man, look at this indecisiveness of the market. And also I would say, we've talked about this most recently, I think the other day, the manipulation, the suppression, I think is occurring right now. I don't need to go into it, but things are looking very bullish for crypto space more than ever. It's a new era. And I've been talking about that a lot. I don't want to keep talking about it because it becomes repetitive, but it's a new era. On the daily chart, one thing to note is we have the MACD crossing above the signal line. Take it with a grain of salt because this is obviously shorter term. You can just see we've gotten many. We just had one back here in January, and that did not mean we were breaking out of the trend that it's in, right? It just meant maybe we're going to test that upper trend line. So we are getting that MACD crossing above the signal line right now, histogram turning green. So this could be a signal that maybe Bitcoin's next move would be the upper trend line once again to test. But again, I'd be careful with that, right? Because all we have to do is go to this last area of consolidation for Bitcoin, and we know how long that lasted, 8 months, right? So this looks very similar, maybe a little smaller. Therefore, maybe it'll be a little shorter before we get the next big move. But that's kind of what I'm watching for Bitcoin. Appreciate all of you cruising through. This is a good comment. Dan, I've been in this space since 2017. Even got into ADA during seed phase. But the manipulation we see now is actually disgusting. I mean, that's a great word. It is. And we're actually going to talk more about manipulation and insiders and stuff when we start talking about altcoins. But I agree, man. I only see the diamond hands making money. It seems that way. And that's why I think even the other day I posted, like, I'm just sitting on my hands. I think one thing I've learned over the years is it's just the best thing. Even when it's not what I want to do, it just seems like just step away from it. Like, stop looking at the short term, step away, sit on your hands. And that has seemed to be the best play in the long term. So let's talk about... We're going to talk about dog and ski mask dog. Absolutely. Doesn't have to be so negative, though, Sammy. Does not have to be so negative, dude. Just tracking my portfolio with you guys. Serious question. Serious question, because we're going to talk about ADA. When you should predict a price for ADA, according to everything forming around Cardano, work of Hoskinson, blockchain behind Department of Government Efficiency would be ridiculous. Without looking at the charts and market cap, what would a realistic price prediction be? I think the one thing missing from your question would be time frame. Like, are you looking for like long-term, multi-cycle, 10 years from now? Are you looking for this cycle? Because that means a lot. At the end of the day, a lot of the bullishness for Cardano, it doesn't... Every crypto, including Bitcoin, will only have so much upside before things top out, no matter how much macro, fundamental, utility, bullishness there is. So it depends if you're talking about this cycle or like just multi-cycle, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. There are very different answers, I guess you could say. Man, we got 3,000 people in the live stream, 174 likes, man. Sentiment is just... Hit that like button for me, everybody. You know that feeling you have? You're like, This is annoying. This market's annoying. I have the same feeling. And I'm on video talking about it. I don't complain about it. I'm grateful that I can do videos. It actually, this is literally what really, it helps me through the sideways. It gives me clarity of mind. It really does. Just talking about it and seeing all you. I appreciate all you guys. So let's talk about altcoins. We looked at Bitcoin. I mean, everything about the Bitcoin chart is so ridiculous. Look at we just looked at the sideways wrapping around this price it's at right now. We looked at the RSI, just so indecisive. And then if you really take a glance, just look at price action. It's literally in between the 20 and the 50 day. The green is the 20, 50 is the blue. And even the candle itself that we're in is just hello indecisiveness. 99,000, bottom of the end is 97,000. Crazy, dude. It's crazy. Real quick, before we look at altcoins, I do want to go take a glance at, wow. So my question that I put here was like, are you more bullish than you were? Are you more bullish than you were a month ago? So 66% of people are. So that is very interesting. I actually thought it would be more. You're live at the same time as Charles. I don't know how does that always happen? Who goes live? Like, how does that happen? It seems to happen a lot. All right, let's get into altcoins. Okay, 66%. If you didn't vote. I mean, I don't know how many. It actually doesn't tell me how many people voted, I don't think. But if you haven't voted, we got over 3,000 people in here. Vote. Because I'm curious. Really? Almost like 50-50. A lot of bears. It's a lot of bearishness. Interestingly enough, it makes sense because look at the fear and greed index. This is historically where people become bearish, hopeless when it comes to crypto. So we're at 42 and we'll keep an eye on that. You know, it's funny because right now I'm doing a live stream, 3,300 people out there. So when I'm doing live streams here in the 80s in November, fear and greed index, extreme greed, we have what? Probably like almost 15,000 people in here. And people are answering this poll very bullish. And that is such a key thing and such a key data point that we cannot pay enough attention to. So actually, if you're actually one of the few people that is here watching these videos lately, props to you because this is the time to be bullish. A very unpopular time, but it is the time historically. Not even just on this chart, which goes back to like September 2023, but historically across all of the cycles, when we get into this area, and we could go lower, we might have capitulation like we had back in September 2024 in terms of the fear index going lower, but now is the time to be bullish. So let's go look at Ethereum. A good illustration is Ethereum in terms of like what pain could be ahead for us. I get this comment a lot. Just want to let you all know, especially if you're new out there, my analysis, the reason I do my videos is not to predict anything. The foundation to my analysis of these charts is I do not know what will happen. I think it should be the foundation to anybody's analysis. So no need to criticize that. I know that no one knows. I am here tracking the charts so that I can anticipate all scenarios across these cycles, not just on the short term, so that I can position my portfolio to a place where I'm comfortable and I'm ready for downside or upside. That's it. And I'm just tracking that crypto journey with you, everybody. I don't know what other YouTube channels you've seen, but I'm not one that is like trying to sit here and predict and tell you what to buy, tell you what's going to happen next. That's not why I'm here, everybody. That's truly has nothing to do. But the data across the cycles has been so helpful. And if you pay attention to the data, whether on my channel or other channels, there's awesome content creators out there that aren't pumpy. If you just pay attention to the data, you don't need to predict to win in this space. All you have to do is anticipate. So I want to address that because I get that comment a lot in my comments, especially lately. So let's do it. Ethereum gives a great representation of the short-term pain that could still be ahead, and also the potential long-term like enjoyment of the bull market, right? This is just a fractal, obviously, but it's really a fractal from this previous consolidation. So we looked at Bitcoin's previous consolidation, and I'm just continuing to track this. Again, I don't want to be repetitive. I know it is, but what else is there to look at in terms of Ethereum right now other than waiting for certain indicators? One indicator that right now is happening on the daily, and it is happening, is the 20-day moving average. So if we really zoom in here, you can see this is kind of one of the first things we're waiting for Ethereum to the upside, is to break this green line, the 20-day moving average, because that is really the stepping stones to reversal. If we're going to watch anything, it's the 20, the 200, and the 50. So it's around 3,000, 2,900, and 2,700. It's like every $200 is a milestone. And right now, Ethereum was starting to break, and this is a daily chart, starting to break to the upside. And it kind of seems like the ByBit getting hacked kind of demolished that momentum. One thing I've noticed is now that I want to just say this. ByBit CEO just came out after that happened and said, you know what? Even if it's hacked and we can't recover losses, the client assets are back 1-to-1. I feel like in previous cycles or previously, this chart would have recovered to the upside and continued whatever the move was that was happening. I genuinely think, and I could be wrong, I don't have I don't have any proof, but I just genuinely think that market makers, I just think that the markets are being so manipulated. Any headline that could just allow them to make price react negatively, they're using it and they're all over it. And even when the headline gets corrected, it's not really that like terrible bearish news, right? Like people aren't going to lose their funds. It won't recover, and it just demolishes the momentum of the day. And the reason why I think that's happening is because I genuinely think that whales, because on the flip side of what I'm saying, if you look at on-chain metrics, all we see are whales accumulating. This is something that's not an opinion. Whales are accumulating right now. They've been. And like the more price is suppressed for something like Ethereum, which I think is very undervalued. I'm not like this crazy Ethereum bull, you all know. But the more price is suppressed, the more the big money is just able to get in, as we are now in this new era for crypto. And I'm telling you, the new era for crypto really just started, right? It really just started. This is a daily chart. So I think there's crazy manipulation happening right now. Long story short. But again, the one thing is, let's wait for all moving averages to break, kind of like get this type of escape. And I just genuinely, it's doubtful that this is going to happen right now, this type of move. And the thing about it is, like, when we get consolidations after capitulation, it's very choppy for a while, right? So that's why I have this fractal here. I'm leaving it here just as a reminder, like, and by the way, this would kind of like move up a little bit, but just as a reminder, we are where we are right now, but this could go on, right? We could be testing $2,500 again in March in a month. The pain could go on. So that's something that I am anticipating. But that's Ethereum. One quick glance, because I didn't really mention it, but obviously what's happening right now on the Ethereum chart zoomed out on the daily is this lower trend line being tested like crazy. And it's very similar to back here. Higher lows across the board, right? So Fibonacci, there's a Fibonacci. We could get this busted pattern down here. I talked about it in the video the other day. Sorry to repeat, but if you're new, busted pattern, and then they break to the upside. A lot to anticipate. ADA, I kind of am excited to talk about because there's actually a couple more meaningful things happening, at least on an ADA chart. So let's talk about this. And then I'm actually going to go cruise over and I'm going to actually look at Dog. And we have a super chat from Cryptolution. I mean, Cryptolution, find him on X and YouTube. Go follow him. He's literally, Vincent, he is the Dogfluencer. And he does such good content. The most upside play this cycle is Dog, now going multi-chain. Wrap Dog, now available on Solana. Soon Cardano. It's true. So here's the deal. And actually, the thing about Dog potentially coming onto Cardano is it won't be wrapped. It shouldn't be wrapped. This should literally be Dog moving across chain. But I'm going to look at Dog charts in a little bit. And man, the community is just so good. And you're going to be very surprised. There's people that are just giving me a hard time for being a Dog bull. You'll be very surprised by the charts and how impressive the chart is right now. It's not as bad as it looks. So excited to talk about that. But first, I do want to take a look at Cardano because there are some things happening. First, I'll just make a note on the weekly. This is where we are. Like the last couple of weeks, we have a little bit of a bounce from that capitulation to 50 cents, which was absolutely insane. I'm still tracking the inverse head and shoulders because the story is there. Bears, bulls stepping to the neckline, bears for this head to the downside, bulls step back in all the way to neckline, bears stepping in, which is where we are right now. And then we're waiting to see if the bulls can say, you know what? No, the bull market is on, and there's our inverse head and shoulders, and there's our breakout to $250 billion market cap. That's what we're waiting on. And we'll track it on the daily. And I do want to dig into that a little bit more when we look at something like the daily chart. I want to take a couple quick looks though. And this is important because not only with just Cardano, but these cycles in general, I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't want to try and throw hopium out there to you, everybody, but I'm telling you, I've done so many videos literally just locked in on these charts and screens. I've studied cycles on all of the altcoins, not all of them, but a lot of them. Bitcoin, I've studied all this stuff. And you've seen me track all of this. So I know we're in like this indecisive, painful time. But based on all of the things that I've seen happen in crypto, and I've seen these charts over the years, the move that we're in right now, though painful, is so normal. And I can't say that enough. And I don't mean to throw hopium out there, but I'm just saying, like the gains that you want, because we're not talking about like, hey, you just want like a consistent 20% return year after year. That's not what people are looking for in a bull market, right? For crypto. And that's not typically how it's happened. The gains you want, if you want those gains, you're going to have to endure ridiculous pain. I'm sorry, but that's just how crypto is. Unless you get in at the absolute like best time and you're a newbie and you get very lucky, you just bought the bottom and just right when it starts about to go parabolic, you're going to have to go through tough times. So I'm bringing that up because the clip I'm about to show you from a technical analysis perspective paints the picture. And so this clip is from, let's see, December 7th, 2024. So almost 3 months ago, right? Check this out. This is Cardano, $1.19. Where's the cooldown? That's my question. And maybe we don't get it. Maybe ADA just goes and puts in another swing high into overbought. But where's the cooldown? In general, it did consolidate into this mid-range, into the 50s or so on this RSI. If you kind of go back and just take a glance at those cooldown areas, you can just see into this whole range, even below 50 before exploding higher. So that move, I think, is in play, a really big consolidation for ADA. And I just want to put that out there. There's no sense for me really to even talk too much. That's one clip from the video. Here's another clip from the video. We're in a bull market, but consolidations happen. I'm surprised we haven't gotten a little bit more consolidation yet. I'm not complaining, but this is just where my head's at. This is what I'm watching for. So consolidation range for me is very simple. 50-day, 20-day, anywhere in between. We do have the bull market door lower range around this mid-70s just in case. So it's $1.20. The reason why I'm talking about that with kind of like this, I'm telling you, when I did that video, you might have been there or not. I had this tone of like uncomfortableness because we get overbought, we get overextended, and the dips need to happen. And sometimes the dips are less than you would anticipate, sometimes are more. But the reason why I'm talking about that, I'm talking about a 70 some cent Cardano when we're $1.20 is because that would be the most normal move. And so that was months ago. And look at the move. And this is kind of where things become interesting to me because we actually fell and we broke below that bottom of the bull market door around 77 cents. So but the reason why this is interesting to me is because we had the most record-breaking liquidation event right here. If you remember, this was because of the tariff panic. So we had like an actual capitulation event, like comparable to like COVID, right? We actually had that happen within this bull market environment. But what's becoming interesting on the ADA chart is the bottom range of the bull market doors because it's literally being tested right now. You can just see it is above because generally the bull market door bottom has been the 20-week moving average. And it's a very flat line, but you can actually see it's trending down. But that's generally the bottom. That's what defines the bottom of the bull market doors. The top of the bull market doors up here, which would be the bull market trigger for ADA, would be this 20-week moving average, revisit, and going into the bear market. Boom. Last cycle, it was that exact area. 20-week moving average, boom, bear market. And then here's the trigger for the last bull market. So that's the range. But right now, if you look at the weekly chart, where are we? We're like right above the 20-week. And we are right below, we're right above the 200-week, and we're right below the 20-week. So like, we are in a very crucial area for Cardano. And again, I don't know if this little range will break or hold. But I do know, as we're tracking maybe the next 2 days, 7 hours of a weekly chart, it's important, I would say, for ADA to stay above the 200. That doesn't mean it's going to, but that 200 is right around 75.5 cents or so right now. And then the 20 is right around 79.5 cents. We really want to see ADA break above that area, right? And get above the 20-week. At that moment, we would be in this environment where it's above all moving averages. There's the wick to the 50, there's the 200, and there's the 20. And that's really what we want to see for a bull market environment. So yeah, capitulation, but as quick as possible to get back above those moving averages. If you go to the daily chart, what I thought was kind of cool, right, was if you look at the RSI, so there's around where I was doing the video, right, somewhere in December, maybe like right here. I was doing that video, man, we're overbought. Are we going to get the move back down to this area, this general area? We capitulated to oversold. And Cardano, if you notice, you go back, I mean, that oversold area is a very good indicator, right? And even last cycle, when we were putting in an inverse head and shoulders right shoulder, it just hit oversold. And it looked very bleak for Cardano at this moment. Because look, it's a very big dip from swing high to swing low. It's 50-some% dip, right? And it's hitting oversold. And then all of a sudden, it's forming this right shoulder. So on the daily chart, it's really what I'm watching for. Can we get a similar setup? And I do not know, but I will say it would be phenomenal to see altcoins finally see a reversal after this, but that could come with some sideways and some pain kind of eating into this wick that we have here. And that's something we've talked a lot about, but let's see what happens with ADA as it does try and form kind of this right shoulder setup similar to last cycle. So let's continue on. I see there's actually a lot of dog people out there. It's pretty cool. Just reading the comments. Yeah, a lot of comments about manipulation out there. Sup, Dan? Keep me off the ledge with my dog bags. I don't want to keep anybody off the ledge. I don't want to I just want to tell you where my head's at with charts. Dog is down 40%. Ski is down 65% from a month ago. It's true. But again, normal. Let's look at dog. Let's look at dog. Appreciate you guys out there. hanging in there. So I had this post up. This is Leonidas. I don't know if you know, Dog is going multi-chain. It doesn't mean Dog is leaving Bitcoin, but as you saw, CryptoLution commented a little bit ago, it's going multi-chain. Wrapped Dog is on Solana now. And I just want to say, actually, we'll talk about this. So the Dog application to be listed on Moonshot has been submitted. Moonshot has over 20 million users, which is more than any current Dog centralized exchange listing. So this is a very slow buildup, I would say, of Dog. My thesis on Dog, I think, is even more sound. And this is why. Not only because it's going multi-chain now, which I think it will infiltrate these other chains and meme coins, but the reason why is really this. And I had it highlighted, and I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's a lot. Leonidas, the founder of Dog, he was posting, if you launch a Solana meme coin and want the top influencers to give it any attention, you must pay them off. It's illegal for influencers to do paid shills without disclosing it, so they get around this by simply buying the tokens before everyone else can. This is speaking to the insider trading, the paid influencers that don't disclose that they're being paid. This is exposing that. The Solana meme coin casino that is just completely manipulated and has been sucking liquidity out of just people that are playing that game. And it's absolutely been terrible for the crypto space in general. So this either comes in the form of being shared a contract moments before it will be posted publicly, or by receiving a token warrant that values a meme coin at a very low market cap. And he just goes on and he's just talking about the manipulation that is going on there. And this is why I am so bullish on Dog, right? We're going to do analysis. This is a terrible looking chart. I get it. But the reason I'm so bullish on Dog is because this was a free and fair launch, number one, to the community. And this is something that, like the founding team, like Leonidas we just talked about, he does not have some crazy allocation. He's been very actually transparent about his allocation. You'd be very surprised of it. This isn't something where Dog is paying influencers at all. This isn't something where it's paying centralized exchanges to get listed. This is like the bulletproof, rug-proof meme coin. And it is on Bitcoin. So I said at the beginning of the video, like, I'm going to lean into situations like this where we have a chart that is down like this. I'm not going to shy away. And you know, like, you ever see that Homer Simpson like GIF where he's like going back into the bushes? I'm not going to do that. I cover these charts because I'm not trying to sell anybody to go buy these things. This is literally a part of my portfolio. This is a big part of my portfolio, Dog. And I want to lean into the pain of it because I'm so bullish on it. If we get the bull cycle that many are in doubt of, not just because of a Dog chart that you see here, but altcoin holders, Ethereum people, everybody, they're just like, man, what is going on? If it delivers, if crypto goes macro bullish, I'm telling you, I'm even more bullish on this Dog chart than before. You don't go buy it, but I'm tracking the very big piece of my portfolio. So what I want to point out, and I just posted this on X, was, let me see. I think I have it up. It was this. When I realized the top blue chip, Cardano, has recently fallen 60%, Dog being down around 70% doesn't faze me. Think about that for a second. Because I know it's very easy. And the reason why, especially with Dog, it's such a new chart. It's just like, what is this loser coin, right? It's very easy to be deceived by like the look of that chart. But if we really think about, if we go to something like Cardano, which has years and years and years and years of charts, swing high to actual swing low, 61%, right? That's what Cardano just did. And right now, if we go look at a Dog chart, and I can change it to a daily because that's a weekly. If we look at a Dog chart from swing high to where it is right now, it's 71%. Do you understand for a meme coin how solid that is? in an environment where Bitcoin's just like doing its thing, it's obviously strong. We all know throughout the years, altcoins are more volatile. They're going to dip more to the downside. Hence, ADA 61% dip. Meme coins are like the next step outside of altcoins in terms of volatility. So like altcoins being down 80, 90% it's very normal. I hate to say it, but if you're going to be in a meme coin, I talk about this, just be ready for 80% dips, like, and just absolute capitulation. Your holdings, if you're going to hold, like it's going to be brutal, right? Be ready for that. But in this dip, Dog almost operating like just an altcoin, a blue chip altcoin, which is Cardano. So I want to point that out. And this is in an environment where Dog is going multi-chain, things are getting oversold, fear is high. If we enter a parabolic stage of this cycle and we have so much trash that just got weeded out, and Solana itself, the meme coin casino on Solana, I think is being exposed, and we have now Dog on Solana, and we're going to have a accessible on other chains, and apps like Moonshot, Dog is the play. It's the meme coin play because it's fair and it's fairly distributed, right? So the parabolic explosion for Dog can be even greater than I thought it could be before. So I have, it'll be fun to talk about all-time high predictions when Dog starts recovering, when altcoins start recovering, and Bitcoin it makes its next leg up. But right now, it's more it's hard to even talk about Dog when it's down like this. It's hard to talk about altcoins when they're down like this because people just can't imagine ridiculous parabolic all-time highs, let alone even escaping this bottom. It's hard for people to imagine. It's not hard for me to imagine. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are like, it's not hard for me to imagine. You know exactly what you think is going to happen. It's probably very similar to what I think is going to happen. But there's just a lot of people that they don't like this, right? For good reason. Because if you're new to this space, this is a joke. This is like, man, I came to crypto to win and it's down 70%. Are you kidding me? What is this scam? But this literally just is how crypto works. So that's Dog on Bitcoin. Ski Mask Dog getting demolished even. But it is the same exact story as Dog. This is Ski Mask Dog. This is on base, going through its dip consolidation and giving up massive gains. I saw a post, and this really is like the best way to think about this is like, I don't know who posted this, but basically, like, I think they said, I wish I had it up. I wish I remember who said it. It was like months of downside can just be completely regained back in days or weeks. I forget what they said. And that is like the ultra illustration for meme coins. And you can go look at Shiba and other altcoins over the years or Pepe. Look at the massive dips and look at when they recover with the rest of cryptos. So that's the game that I'm playing, right? And within that context, when I'm holding things like Dog and I'm holding things like Ski Mask Dog, I know, and I as I've covered them on my channel, because of I think they have very strong thesis and very strong meme coin fundamentals for upside, I know that these are crazy high risk. You do not invest more than you can afford to lose, right? And it's all about risk management with these things. And it's also mainly all about mentality. Like, you have to anticipate these massive dips, right? And you can even just see Ski Mask Dog is in its dip. I don't know where it will bounce. I think a lot of it has to do with like what Bitcoin's doing, what altcoin's doing, what US dollar's doing, when we're going to get just a bounce out for crypto in general. But I want to speak to these charts because at the end of the day, I've been doing these videos for like 7 years. This is just a normal meme coin chart. And when you go to something like Dog, not only is it normal, but it's quite impressive that it's not down more. And so that's my thought on Dog and Ski Mask Dog. Meme coin fundamentals, I thought that too. listen, it's a segment. It's a massive segment. It's not going anywhere in crypto. I think understanding how these charts move is very crucial for risk management and knowing how to like play that game. But meme coin fundamentals, it really is a thing. I posted about something about Hosky the other day. It's one of the few. So Solana, what's happening with Solana and these Solana meme coins that are going to billions, and then now they're down to levels where like Dog is, for instance. Those are the ones that Leonidas over here was talking about. These ridiculous pump and dump, insider trading, influencer scamming coins. This is a very long post. I'm not going to read it. And all these things are being exposed for what they are. And I think the masses are waking up. And I do not think this is the end of the meme coin space. I don't. Cardano obviously has a utility, right? Like meme coins, the argument is, what is the purpose of them? But you know what the strongest part of Cardano is? The strongest part of Cardano is like the community. And that's what drives, that is exactly what drives meme coins, is community. They're not going anywhere, especially as more people and retail comes into the space. But with that being said, you go to something like Dog, guess what? Fundamentals are meaningful. Being free and fair are meaningful. Not paying influencers is meaningful. Not having insiders is meaningful. And that will be what is the catalyst for the Dog pump. So my point in saying that is something like Hosky on Cardano, something like Snack on Cardano. It shares that thesis, which is these are high value meme coins. These aren't like insider pump and dumps. And so there's a difference between the two. I wish we could come up for a different name for meme coins when we're talking about Dog or Hosky or Snack or even Ski Mask Dog. I wish we could come up with a different name than meme coins to separate it from the Solana insider scam pump and dumps. But there really is no other name. Don't sell and you won't lose. That's how you win. I mean, it's very simple, and I have to agree. It's the rebirth of the meme space. I agree. I think it's a great point. It's a rebirth of the meme space. I hope the masses are smart enough to realize where value is and are smart enough to just look at for a moment, like the difference between like an influencer pumped meme coin, which is absolutely ridiculous, to something like Dog. Bro, no one cares about Dog. I care about Dog. If you don't care about Dog, you can leave. I'm not forcing you to watch my free content, buddy. And I hope you have a good day. Google Dog and his name, and you can see when he got in. There are the haters coming out again. So here's when I got into Dog. I got a free airdrop, everybody. I was in before like it even started trading because I held runestones on Bitcoin. That's it. It was a free airdrop on Bitcoin. And I bought a ton more than what I was airdropped. And I've been buying. I just bought again the other day. Seriously. So you think it's a coincidence that hack, the fib, and grab liquidity was near perfect? What do you think? Seriously. Manipulation, it seems. Let's go look at this. Oh, the poll went down. Look at this, 64%. The question is, like, are you bullish? Are you more bullish now than you were a month ago? And 64%. I want it to be higher, man. I wish more people were bullish. So that's that, everybody. This year, haters are active. Bro, I've never seen haters so active. And it's just crazy to me. Just holding hope. You and family are good, Dan. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Dr. Crypto. Thank you. I know most of you guys are just awesome, man. Thank you, Andrew. So 1,400 people have voted. There's 5,000 people here. Majority are probably actually on X, honestly. YouTube, it's crazy how YouTube is just, which is so telling. Look at that, 4,000 people on X. So there's not even like 1,000 people on my YouTube live stream right now. That's crazy. I don't know. Or maybe my software is just not. Maybe my software is not. Yeah, 911 people. Incredible. Everybody's on X watching. So crazy to me, that statistic. Sweet. So, yeah. Bitcoin. When's the breakout? I think is probably one of the best macro questions to ask as we sit here. There's so much data to focus on that I haven't even began touching on, and I want to actually start doing that more. And on this video in the description, I put a link. I ask of your support. Go follow this account. It would mean a ton to me. I'm very excited about this. Myself and my team are working on something data-driven. Now is the time. I don't know if you're an entrepreneur, a builder, just an investor. Now is the time to lock in, everybody. I'm telling you. Now is the time to build. Now is the time to focus on the data. And I regret not even putting something like this together sooner, years ago. And I'll end with this. Go follow this account on X, please. If you look at where we are right now, and truly, this is my approach. I know I'm zoomed in on the charts a lot as I do these daily videos and stuff, but I just want to say to you, like I've been saying we're just getting started, like since I started my YouTube channel, right? The top of this bull market back here. I've been saying we're just getting started. I'm always saying it. But I'll say it even here. We're just getting started. We are. And the perfect, one of the best identifications of that is the altcoin ETFs they're so reminiscent of early 2000s and tech stocks getting ETFs. And just think about that. If you could be in the beginning of that, of just all these tech, fast growth, high growth tech companies, if you could be on the ground floor, I know this Bitcoin chart going back and back. I know, you were like, man, I wish I bought at $14, right? I wish I was there. But in terms of the space, even after all of these cycles, right here, we're early. Right now is the time to focus on the data. And so that is something I want to get better at doing. Besides just looking at charts, there's so much data, and we track a lot of that data, but I'm putting together something that I'm very excited about. And I ask you all to go follow and join me. And it'll really help support also the YouTube channel as I scale this and get ready to do this. But either way, everybody, we're early. We really are. We're just getting started. If you zoom out on what's happening globally, you zoom out on this new era that even just America is in right now, entering, something special is happening. So I know we're zoomed in a lot. I know it's annoying, right? I posted earlier, like, am I ever going to wake up in the morning with a crypto pump? And we could fall even more right now. Price can fall, but I don't want to get distracted by that short-term volatility and the short-term movement. I think this space is here. I think that's clear. And I think it is going to grow tremendously over the coming years. So that's my general thesis. So going to be short-term volatility. Even right now, let's see. Probably as I'm ending the live stream, look, prices are falling. Here's ADA falling 77 cents. Ethereum 26.70. Bitcoin's 96, right? It was just moments ago, like approaching 100. So we can do nothing else in the short term but just survive it and anticipate the big moves that could happen, the volatile moves. But zoomed out, I think, is very important. So appreciate each and every one of you. If you're out there right now, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you enjoy the content, smash that like button. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video, and hopefully we get some type of movement soon. But have a good Friday and a good start to your weekend. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.